Okay, think about this for a second. We use it literally all day, every day. For work, for fun, to talk to people. But have you ever really, truly stopped to think about how the internet actually works? I mean, what is it? Let's dive in and pull back the curtain on this incredible thing that's hiding right behind our screens. When you send a message or start streaming a movie, it just happens. It feels instant, almost like magic, right? But that seamless experience is built on a world that's unbelievably complex and, you'll see, very, very physical. So today, let's go behind the scenes.
So to get started, I want to ask a really simple question that's actually kind of tough to answer. If the internet isn't some fluffy cloud up in the sky and it's not just in the air, then where does it live?
Well, the answer sounds almost like poetry, but it's completely true. In a very real way, the internet is made of light, tiny pulses of light, packed into glass fibers thinner than a human hair, stretching for thousands and thousands of miles across the dark, cold ocean floor. And believe it or not, that's just the beginning of a story. See, at its most basic level, the internet isn't one thing at all. The name itself is the clue, right? Internet. It's a network of networks, a massive global system that connects millions of computers, our phones, huge data centers, all of them agreeing to speak the same digital language so they can talk to each other. Okay, so what happens when you actually use the internet? Let's follow one little piece of your data, say a photo you're about to text to a friend, and watch its absolutely epic journey across the globe. All right, this is where things get a little weird. Your photo, it doesn't travel as one big file. Nope. Your phone or computer shatters it into thousands of tiny little digital pieces called packets. Think of them like tiny puzzle pieces, and each one gets its own address label. Then they're all sent out into the wild, sometimes taking completely different paths across the world, only to get perfectly put back together in the right order at the other end. Wild, right? But wait a minute. How do all those little packets know where to go? How do they navigate this insane web of millions of computers to find the one device they're looking for? Well, it turns out the internet has its own super efficient post office. For this whole postal service to work, you need two really important things. First up is the DNS, the domain name system. The easiest way to think of it is as the internet's phone book. It takes the website names we understand, like google.com, and translates them into the number-based addresses that computers actually use. That address points to a server, which is like the internet's giant library, a super powerful computer that holds all the website's information and sends it to you when you ask.
And what are those number-based addresses? Well, every single device that connects to the internet, your phone, your laptop, that giant server in the library, gets a unique number label. That's its IP address. It's literally the specific street address that lets those little data packets find their exact destination among billions and billions of possibilities. So we've talked about the addresses in the mail system, but what about the actual roads, the highways that connect everything? This is where the digital world gets really, really physical. Now, for us, the internet is wireless, right? We connect to Wi-Fi, we use our cell data. It feels invisible, like it's all just floating around in the air. But that's only the very last little hop of the journey. The real heavy lifting, the real magic is happening somewhere else entirely. Get ready for this. Over 95%, 95 of all international data travels through massive physical fiber optic cables that are laid down on the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, not satellites, not magic airwaves, but actual cables, some as thick as a garden hose connecting entire continents. That is the real backbone of our World Wide Web. Now, with all of our personal information flying around the planet at the speed of light, there's one more piece of the puzzle that is absolutely crucial: security. How do we make sure that no one is peeking at our digital mail while it's on its journey? I'm sure you've seen that little lock symbol up in your browser's address bar. Well, that little guy is a big deal. It stands for HTTPS, and it's your personal digital lock. It uses something called encryption to basically scramble your data into unreadable gibberish. Only the server you're talking to has the special digital key to unlock it, which means your information stays private and safe.
So let's put it all together. You click. Your request is shattered into packets, given an address and scrambled by a lock and key. Then it zips across the world as pulses of light inside undersea cables, finds the right server, gets the info, and zips all the way back to you, where it's perfectly reassembled. And all of that? It happens in less time than it takes you to blink. It's absolutely mind-boggling. It's this invisible miracle of engineering, a system built on light and language and logic that connects the entire planet. But after seeing how it all works, maybe the bigger question isn't about the technology. Maybe it's this: what does this invisible network actually make visible? It makes our connection to each other visible. All of this incredible infrastructure, all these light pulses traveling through glass under the sea, it all exists for one really simple reason: to bring us closer together. So next time you click send or press play, just take a second to remember the incredible journey that little pulse of light is about to take, all for you.